In the carbon reduction, basically oxides of the metal like zinc, nickel, lead, tin, etc. are reduced to free metal by heating it with coke or coal. So basically we use either coke or coal. This will reduce these metal oxides to metal and carbon monoxide. Okay. Now, some of the metal can be formed in the form of vapors because zinc, that is ZNO, when it will get reduced by carbon, it will form zinc and carbon monoxide. Zinc is having very low boiling point, so it will form in vapor form. Okay, it will be obtained in vapor form because of very low boiling point. Similarly, nickel will form nickel plus carbon monoxide. This reaction takes place in the extraction of zinc. This reaction takes place in the extraction of nickel. Okay. This reaction takes place in extraction of lead. It will form Pb and Co. In all of these cases, this carbon is acting simply as a reducing agent because it is in zero oxidation state going to +2. So itself getting oxidized, and lead is in +2 going to 0. So lead is getting reduced. So this is reduction of metal oxide to metal and oxidation of carbon to carbon monoxide. So we can say carbon is serving as a reducing agent in all these cases. Okay. If we see this one, Cr2O3, this is a chromium oxide that is amphoteric in nature, in which chromium is in +3 oxidation state. This will also get reduced to chromium metal and carbon monoxide is formed. This reaction is not balanced, but I'm just writing a product. Okay. Now, this is used in the extraction of chromium, and the process is Davell's process, that is Davell's process. Okay. Next we have SnO2, that is the tin stone. In this case again we use anthracite coal basically, and it reduces it to Sn and Co is formed. Okay, this is in +4 oxidation state going to 0, so it is reduction, it is oxidation. Okay. So this reaction takes place in extraction of tin. Then we have Fe2O3 hematite that occurs in iron blast furnace. So it will form iron and CO. Okay. This iron will be in the molten state. Tin will also be in molten state. Okay. Those metals which are having low boiling point like zinc will be exist in the vapor form. Okay. Next, MnO2 +4 oxidation state. It will get reduced to manganese and CO. Okay. So again, this process is used in the extraction of manganese. MnCO4 is the mixed oxide of manganese. Here also you'll get manganese plus CO. So both of these processes are used for the extraction of manganese. Now we have beryllium oxide. This is also amphoteric. With the carbon it forms beryllium and CO. This is used in the extraction of beryllium. Now there are these oxides which are very stable. Thermally high stability is there. They are thermally high stable. Okay, thermal stability is very high. This is calcium oxide, magnesium oxide and aluminum oxide. What's problem in that? That they requires very high temperature. Okay, because its reduction is very difficult. And at that high temperature, carbide formation can also form. So, due to that high temperature, if the calcium getting reduced to Ca and Co, then at that high temperature, calcium reacts with carbon to form CaC2. So, mainly you will get CaC2, that is the calcium carbide. Okay. So this reduction is not economical or not feasible. Okay. Next, we have MgO reacting with carbon. So in this case, we'll get magnesium and CO. But this reaction is what reversible. Yeah. Magnesium can again, during cooling, magnesium can again react with CO. Magnesium has very high affinity towards oxygen. Very high affinity for oxygen. So it can remove oxygen from the carbon monoxide and reverse reaction can also take place. So this is also not economical. And aluminium extraction from alumina by the carbon reduction method is also not feasible, although you'll get aluminium plus CO. But at high temperature, aluminium can also form carbide like Al4C3. And this reaction taking place at very high temperature, temperature must be greater than 2000 degrees centigrade, approximately like that. So it is not economical as well as we are getting brittle aluminium carbide. So that is also not feasible. So for above these reactions, we can have the carbon reduction feasible. For these reactions, we have feasible carbon reduction. But if we talk about the calcium oxide, magnesium oxide, aluminium oxide, these oxides are having very, very high thermal stability. And in that case, first Point is that they require really high temperature to get reduced. Okay. And second is they can form carbides also, and in the case of magnesium there is the reversibility of the reaction also. That's all about the carbon reduction of metallic oxide to metal. Thank you.